Thank you all for coming to my mother, Miriam Bat Abraham's unveiling. Before I start, I would like to acknowledge some very special people that are here. My dad. Dad, thanks for organizing this and making sure all of us could be here today. I know you worked hard to make sure every aspect of this unveiling was done properly, and this has been a really hard process for you. I'm sorry Shelley and our children Ari, Eitan, and Oren could not be here. They are all looking forward to spending time with you in a few weeks over Pesach. Judith, Jonas, Jordan, Josh, Jade, what can I say? What all of you did for my mom and still do for my dad is amazing. It gives me tremendous comfort to know that you are here being such good children and grandchildren to my father. I had the pleasure of seeing you all in action this past Friday night, celebrating Shabbat together. Please keep doing what you do. My dear Ruth Lee, you traveled all the way from Israel to be here. You have not let distance, brutally cold weather, my crazy household, expired passports, or anything else stand in the way of what you think is the right thing to do. Your dedication to our mother, your sister, is a testament to who she was and the bond you had with her. Carolyn and Sharon, like me, you also had to fly here. We all, thank God, have busy lives, and scheduling the weekend for this was a challenge. I appreciate how you both were willing to work around my schedule and requirements so that we could all be here today. I'd like to share some personal thoughts and a Dvar Torah to give a perspective into the amazing person I was blessed to have as a mother. The past 8 months since my mother's passing have been very difficult for all of us. This is my first time in the cemetery since my mother's funeral, and it isn't easy. I was actually a bit scared to come. There are times when I can't believe she's gone. I still have my mother's contact information on my computer. I can't bring myself to delete any emails she sent me. Recently, Judith sent me some voicemails from her. I listened to a few, and her sweet, special voice brought tears to my eyes. We all still feel her. How can it be that this monumental influence in our lives, who brought us so much laughter, happiness, and insight, is gone? This huge hole we feel can't be real, can it? Yet here we stand, and so it must be. We have to accept that she is gone. And I've said on numerous occasions that who she was guide us being better people and leading fuller, richer, and more meaningful and happy lives. This gathering for me is another milestone in the mourning process. Personally, I found comfort in the process of Shiva, Shloshim, learning Mishnayot, and saying Kaddish daily. It provides structure. Following our rich tradition gives me a purpose and helps me feel that I'm doing something to elevate my mother's soul. I hope that she is looking down on me and is proud of what I do. Saying Kaddish with the minyan every day is now simply part of my routine. It is a quiet time I can reflect on my day and think about my mother and praise life in her name. Last month, I went backpacking for about 2 weeks in Patagonia, which is in southern Chile and Argentina. It is literally at the bottom of the world. The trip took a significant amount of planning. We had to ensure we had the right foods and minimize the weight we were going to carry. In many ways, it was a science experiment. I weighed individual items, dehydrated my own foods, and we calculated calories we would need to consume to fuel our bodies for hiking 12 hours a day. It took us 3 flights, a boat, and several buses to get where we wanted to go. Once there, we saw some truly amazing things like snow-capped mountains, waterfalls, calving glaciers into milky blue lakes, and thousands of penguins. Can you guess who would have absolutely loved the planning, monitoring the travel, and hearing the stories? I thought about my mother throughout the entire experience, and at times I felt her with me. In fact, one of my motivations for going on this crazy trip was to take my mother's spirit someplace special and experience the wonders of life with her. Why am I telling this story now? It's because I want to give you an example of how thinking of my mother inspires me. I do things that in the past I may have only thought or talked about. For this special occasion, I want to share further insight into my mother that I hadn't spoken about previously, mostly because I hadn't been conscious. At her shloshim, I spoke about how she was...
It's yours, Dad?
At her shloshim, I spoke about how she was both humble and a person of action, not words. This combination is very powerful and something we should all aspire to do. The idea was something I learned from the parsha in which her shloshim occurred, Parshat Shoftim. So I figured it worked then, let me try again and see what I can find. Yesterday and next week's parshiot are Tazria and Metzora. These parshiot discuss various laws of impurity. The laws deal with the fact that we